Hello and welcome to Show of the Week. I'm Mike. Oh, I guess Andy's running late. Dark Souls 2 arrived. Might give that a whirl.
Hey Mike, sorry I'm late. There are all these bees. Whoa, what happened to you?
Dark Souls 2?
Why didn't you stop?
It's not as easy as that, Andy, because every time I think I'm out, Dark Souls 2 pulls me back in, much like the Mafia, but with brutal, mysterious role-playing adventure instead of organised crime, if you follow me. In Dark Souls 2 you begin as a healthy, albeit cursed, human adventurer, cast into a deeply unfriendly world full of fantasy foes that want you dead. Good news for those guys, soon you will be dead. Over and over and over, in combat that is deeply unforgiving but entirely fair. Each death whittles down your humanity, transforming you from a peachy keen knight, in our case, into a pasty undead husk, which looked much like me after playing several hours of Dark Souls 2, funnily enough. As in the original Dark Souls, getting killed means being spirited back to your last bonfire save point with all the monsters you previously and painstakingly axed in the face restored to life. Unlike in the original game, enemies will cease to respawn after you've died and re-killed them a certain, large number of times. We call this the pity despawn. That might take the edge off the punishing setback of Dark Souls death, except that each death also whittles down your maximum health, so Dark Souls giveth with one hand and taketh with the other. Your full health bar can only be restored with the sacrifice of a rare item, the human effigy. It might sound like an ordeal, because it is. At the same time though, every victory is intense and triumphant, and every blessedly safe new bonfire you secure is a satisfying reward. You'll learn to love these buggers, when you can find them. If you didn't play the first Dark Souls, don't worry, not that many people did either. This follow-up though is an excellent place to get involved. You should explore its stern, atmospheric world for yourself, and not just because misery loves company. Happiness loves company too, and I plan on being delighted once I kill this guy.
Oh, geez, what happened to you?
Dark Souls 2.
Awesome. Why did you stop?
Andy needed the TV to play Titanfall.
Titanfall! Oh my god, this is the greatest! Pew pew pew! Die, pilot, die!
Oh well, you could use a Dark Souls 2 break. And here it is.
Begin.
Dark Souls 2 is tough, even with its minor concessions to hapless adventurers like us. But we keep coming back for more despite the regular brutal knockbacks, or maybe because of the regular brutal knockbacks. Call it a stubborn streak, call it rising to the challenge, call it masochism, but there's plenty to be said for the thrill of a hard-won victory in a game that refuses to hold your hand. That's exactly how all these brutally unforgiving games got us hooked. Behold, the games that treated us mean and kept us keen. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text-based adventure game was born in 1984. In fact, it's been revamped for its 30th birthday and you can play it right now on the BBC website. Be warned though, most likely you will be killed in the first few turns with barely time to pull on your dressing gown before a bulldozer demolishes your house. Game over. Or it could happen a few moves later, when you get clobbered by an errant brick, or in any number of callous, instantaneous possible deaths when you, for instance, critically fail to eat some peanuts. Better luck next life. Once you've figured out how to dodge sudden death, there are the perversely tricky puzzles, including the legendarily fiendish Babelfish puzzle. The best news of all is that you can fail the puzzle but not die, except the game becomes totally unwinnable. Douglas Adams, we salute you and your bastard hard text adventure. If ever I start to get confident about my twitchy platforming skills, a bit cocky, I come back to Super Meat Boy to teach me humility. This grueling, addictive XBLA platformer mostly involves me converting a small red cube of meat into a bloody smear on a giant saw blade, which doesn't sound like the kind of thing I'd enjoy, and yet there's nothing like a bracing hit of Super Meat Boy to put me in my place. With With a title like this, Unfair Mario doesn't even pretend to be your friend, so, you know, fair's fair. Or unfair's unfair, more like, in this Super Mario clone that adds all the invisible, secret, hidden traps that Nintendo left out of its original masterwork on account of being run by human beings with consciences and compassion. The floor is a trap, the platform is a trap, this other platform is a trap, everything is a trap. It's an entertaining, devilish twist on a beloved old favourite, like your childhood pet dog resurrected with razor-sharp fangs. Fun! Top-tier bullet hell shooters such as Ikaruga have a special place among the most demanding and most unforgiving of games, and that special place is surrounded by swarms of fast-moving space things that want to kill you. Your ship, in case you couldn't tell, is that tiny thing in the 1 square centimetre of screen that isn't occupied by deadly bullets. The blissful thrill of a bullet hell nightmare like this is entering a kind of transcendental meditative state where, like Neo in the Matrix, you can see through the dimensions of time, space and bullets in order to... God damn it. Speaking of transcendental states, here's Super Hexagon, which is part collision avoidance mobile game and part self-hypnosis program. Either way, Super Hexagon is designed to test your mental focus and lightning-fast reflexes and ability to not throw your iPhone out of a train carriage window when you fluff what should have been a record-breaking run. Record-breaking runs in Super Hexagon, by the way, are mostly measured in seconds rather than minutes. Oh well, gaze into the hexagonal abyss and forget your troubles. Do it.
You look better.
Yeah, that Estus flask perked me right up. Now it's time to see what you've been saying on the site, on the YouTube comments, and in voice messages left on my Xbox One.
Hang on, the Xbox One doesn't support voice messaging.
Then my Xbox One is haunted.
Speaking of things the Xbox One doesn't support, first up are your comments on our video about the major March system update and what it doesn't fix.
When the Xbox One was first unveiled, Microsoft promised we'd be able to augment the internal hard drive with external ones, but while we can now manage our storage on Xbox One, we still can't use third-party USB storage devices.
You've been telling us the things you want fixed in future updates, like Skulls, who says, I would kill to see a feature that allows the disabling of the remote's vibration.
Nade, meanwhile, reckons things look a bit boring and he says, what about gamer cards? They need to bring them back from the 360. They also need better gamer picks and definitely need to have some other backgrounds.
Lastly, Grim Reaper 4383 wants to be able to 1. Copy game saves, 2. Auto sign in without the stupid Connect.
Speaking of stupidity, last week's show of the week outlined the rules for our Titanfall drinking game. Blake Wilson is keen, saying, I'm going to be so drunk on March 11th.
I will drink to that.
Sagan Not Pagan, meanwhile, comments on Andy's preferred choice of drinkware, also featured in last week's show. Goblets suck, lol, tankards are where it's at.
I'll drink to that.
On our video about Batman Arkham Knight, Adam Stringer speculates on the ways Joker could be brought back from the dead. Again, the Arkham Knight is probably going to be a resurrected Joker.
Nailed it. Troy Waldbrandt, meanwhile, has another theory for Joker's return. He says, considering the fact that Scarecrow is in this game, the Joker is probably going to make a cameo as a haunting memory. I just hope it isn't prolonged.
The double helo would be fine with that. They say, I'm fine with anything so long as it doesn't involve a last-minute reveal that Arkham Knight was really Talia al Ghul the whole time.
Oh, burn, Dark Knight Rises.
Finally, Trenton Richmond is very specific about what he wants. He says, what I want. Wrap up some of the story arcs in Arkham City, show us what Hush is up to now that he looks like Bruce Wayne, and give us Azrael again, since this may be the prophecy he talked about in Arkham City.
I will drink to that also.
Should you be drinking to everything? How's that going to help with your playing Dark Souls 2?
Good point. Right, I will see you later.
That's it for Show of the Week, but come on back next week for more exciting times with Outside Xbox. Yeah!
And like and subscribe if you want, or not. See you next time.
How many souls do you have at least?
0. 0 souls. And a dented helmet, which isn't as good as my last helmet.
Give me that.
No! No! Mine! Mine!